we have a packed house this evening. Thank you all for coming. Welcome to the Tuesday evening meeting of the Harrison County Board of Education, our regular meeting. At this time, I would like to ask Antonia to come and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Lead us in the pledge with this line.
Bombastic side-eye.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. So, got several things we want to start out with, presentations and recognitions. It's our understanding that RCB Show Choir has a concert tonight, so we're going to get them in and out as quick as possible. So, Mr. Deems? Ms. Smith?
Good evening. I'm Ryan Deems. I'm the music contact person for Harrison County Schools, and tonight we're here to honor our all-state musicians who have participated mostly in the West Virginia Music Education Association Conference. We did have some participants at the ACDA conference in Morgantown. So we are going to start with our RCB high school band students, and we have from All-State Orchestra, we have Taylor Leon. Our band director is Thomas Myers, and he is wrangling about 90 other kids before a concert tonight, so could not join us. All-State Band, we have from RCB, Anthony Audio. Again. Double duty, and we have Wesley Cutright. All right, and this are our all-state representatives from RCB High School. We good? Okay. All right. So we, for the first time, did we get a picture?
Wait, go back up.
Okay.
Sorry. We usually take big group pictures.
Yeah, but I think they've got it.
Perfect.
Okay.
And their admin is tied up as well.
Yeah. So for the first time in a long time, a solo and ensemble festival, and this is where students perform in small groups or individually for judges. They're adjudicated for individuals in small groups, and that was hosted at RCB by Thomas Myers and Dr. Jeremiah Smallridge. We had a superior rating from the RCB Brass Quintet, which is Anthony Audio.
Fugini.
And Owen Fucini from
I think Dr. Nestor was going to come grab his band director.
Okay, I was going to hand it off to him, but. Congratulations, Owen. You can just stay up here. All right, back to our regularly scheduled announcements. Children's Choir. These students were selected from their school choir programs. We're going to start with Liberty Middle School and and Ella Grace Zickerman. And their teacher is me. Middle school, Paisley Fluharty. Dabs. Johnson Elementary, teacher Nell Gibbons, Emma Shahan. Lucia Kirk, did I say that wrong? Did I say your name right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Silas Drains. Is Lisa Reese, and their students were Emma Beagle, Bryn Eastep. Elementary, Taylor France. West Milford Elementary is Michael Harden. And Abigail Lake. Both of those schools are taught by Caitlin Exline. Get you in a picture too. Victory Elementary, teacher is Megan Rupert, and their students were Jimmy Sheets and Byers. And that is everybody. Yes. Yes. Next, ACDA all-state. This is open to 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. From teacher Shaylin Dabbs, we have Abby Hawkins. Lisa. And from high school, Sanders, Kaylee Faber, and Olivia Scott. And their teacher is Madison Linder. And from Bridgeport High School, we have Tristan Eastep, Reagan Fitzpatrick, Jaslyn Myers, Kayvon Newman, Lillian Owens, and Levi Steyer. And Bridgeport High School is taught by Dr. Jeremiah Smallridge, who could not be here tonight.
I'll grab theirs.
Okay. Yeah, jump in the. You want to jump in the picture?
I can.
You're the only one I'm calling.
Just go back here by Sheila. Hey.
we're getting ready to do the ACDA High School All-State Chamber Choir, Lincoln High, Gianna Fragman, and Emmy Salerno. Bridgeport, Benjamin Hughes, Tyler Ward, and Daniel Yeargo. Next is All-State Orchestra at the middle school level. From Bridgeport, Alvy Barkley. Olivia Morgan. And Gabriella Perlera. And their teacher is Trisha Price. Our All-State Band is the middle school level. From Bridgeport, Natalie Land. Her teacher is Chris Haslett. Liberty Middle School, Isla Childress. Josh Reed. And Paisley Furby. Their teacher is Mike Kale, who could not be here tonight, but I'm his assistant band director, so I'll step in the picture in just a second. Thank you. Lincoln Middle School, Adeline Hill, Lily Lane, Isaac Sperling, Madeline Swagger, Bradley Wilson, and Kaylin Wright. And their teacher is John Kimball. And from South Harrison Middle School, Olivia Snyder. And her teacher is Justin Setai. Okay, All-State High School Choir from Lincoln, Gianna Fragman, Rosalia Keener, Emmy Salerno, Heidi Thomas, Connor Wilson. And their teacher is Madison Linger. Bridgeport High School, Emma Cleghorn. John Estep. Aubriana Howe. Caitlin Kimball. Kennedy Marsh. Levi Steyer. Tyler Ward. And Hannah Watson. And their teacher is Dr. Jeremiah Smallridge, who could not be here tonight. Stepping in is Mr. Garrett Friend. Tricia. I'm pretty sure I understood his name up last year. Hania. All-State Orchestra High School, Hania Rafiq. And her teacher, Tricia Price. All-State Band. We had some other students that we didn't recognize earlier. Lincoln High School, Owen Fagini. Represented by Dr. Travis Nestor. And from Bridgeport, Brianna Starkey. Fox Means. And Ben Hughes. And their band director is Garrett Friend. And lastly, we have some more solo and ensemble recognitions. We had several students who received a Superior Plus rating at solo and ensemble, which quite frankly, it's been a long time since I've been involved in solo and ensemble. I did not realize that was a rating. So these are top performers in vocal category from Bridgeport, Catherine Nichols. And her teacher is Dr. Jeremiah Smallridge. We had a quartet from Lincoln High School, Gianna Fragman, Heidi Thomas, Rosalia Keener, and Emmy Salerno. And their teacher is Madison Linger. No. We've got one more. All right. And so we had a Lincoln student as a vocal soloist, Gianna Fragman, also received a Superior Plus rating. Okay. So I would just like to thank the superintendent and the Board of Education for their support of our music programs. There are lots of studies that I could cite to you about how studying the arts makes you a better learner. It makes you smarter. You do better on test scores, and all of those things are good reasons to involve kids in the arts, and why we should teach the arts in our schools? We should teach the arts in our schools for a much more simple reason. It makes us human. It makes us who we are. When you have a bad day, you want to put the radio on. You want to listen to a song. You want to read a good book, right? For the vast majority of those artists, those writers, those painters, they had teachers. They were taught in school. They were taught in programs like ours. And you never know where the next great musician or artist is going to come from. Clarksburg and Harrison County has a long, proud tradition of excellent arts performers. So, I understand that we're headed towards a rough time in public education. I think all my colleagues in the music department understand that. But we're also, us as teachers, you as board members, we're here for the kids. And that means providing the arts. So please, continue your support, and thank you so much.
All right, next, we'll give a second for the, all right. Next, we have No Place for Hate, Johnson Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Taya Klein, and I am one of the fifth grade teachers at Johnson Elementary. When we started tonight, there was lots of panic and we'll call it excitement, because I told them there'd only be 10 people here. So when they walked in and saw the big crowd, there was a lot of anxiety. At Johnson Elementary, our fifth grade team constantly looks for ways to provide our students opportunities to develop their leadership skills and to be leaders in our school. Last year, we piloted a program with the Anti-Defamation League called No Place for Hate. This program has been in existence for many years. It is a tried and true program, and it is designed for pre-K through 12th grade. We started with just 2 classes last year on a trial basis, and Mrs. Holbert was gracious enough to kind of let us get our feet underneath us and see what we could do. The curriculum for the program is vast, and we decided that we wanted to pare it down so that it was meaningful to the students at Johnson. One of the things that No Place for Hate does is they choose literature to use in classrooms to give meaningful lessons to students. So this year, we opened it up to all of 5th grade, and I am proud to say that 34% of our 5th grade class has volunteered for this program. They dedicate 1 lunch a month, as well as 1 after-school meeting a month. And they work that through dance practice, sports, music, family obligations, church obligations, scouts, and they make a commitment to be there. Students develop leadership skills as well as team building. If they cannot make a meeting, it is their responsibility to talk to their team to see what they can do to help them out. So what we did was we took a look at our population at Johnson Elementary, and we looked for students that may not be like everybody else. And we talked to the students to see what were some concerns they might have. So we chose 3 books this year. One book is Fighting for Yes, and that book is about a young woman in New York back in the 1950s who was not allowed to go to school because she was in a wheelchair. Her parents had to pay for private education. Her dad finally found a school that would accept her. She went on to become a civil rights activist, and because of her, we now have 504s and IEPs. We worked with that book with our kindergartners. Then we had a student that came to us and told us that there was a 2nd grader at our school who had been teased because she wore a hijab. And students did not know what that was or what it meant. And we found a book written by an Olympian called The Proudest Blue. Then for our first graders who love to talk, we found a book about rumors. So our teams are going to talk to you a little bit about their book, about the lessons that they gave to these students, and the impact that they had. They are very nervous, but they're great kids. So they're actually going to turn around and talk to the board because we don't have a microphone to pass. It's okay, honey, it's okay. So we're just going to turn around, and I think we're passing some of those books around. So let's start with our kindergarten book, which is A Fight for Yes.
We did Fighting for Yes because for kindergartners, the girl in the book, her name is Judy, and we wanted to show them since she couldn't go to kindergarten, we were like doing it with kindergarten, and we were showing her how she fought so she could go to school for other kids who were like her in a wheelchair or just disabled. The game that we played with them was bingo, and for that we used like the key words in the book. Some of them were like wheelchair, Judy, and 504, so they would like learn more about the book. Our favorite part about doing this book was about like how she created the 504 so she could like for other kids, so in her place. Yeah.
And do you all read the books to the kids then?
Yes. Like we take turns reading the book every single time. So like if somebody didn't get a turn reading the book, we'll like trade off every time. Yeah. We go there 2 times. So one, we read the book with them and review it and show them stuff when we ask them questions. The second time, we go back and we play an activity with them so they know about it and they can know not to be mean to people or people with disabilities. They know about all of it.
All right, and then our first grade book was Did You Hear?
Okay, so we did You Hear with first graders, and this book is about rumors and gossiping. And we chose this to do with first grade because they like to talk, and rumors can get spread very easily. The theme or goal of this book was like how gossiping isn't nice. And what I really liked about this book was that it mentioned that it was kind of like a game of telephone because things can like change. In our classroom, we did the game telephone for a little bit to show how like things could change super easily. And then we also did bingo with them because telephone is kind of a short game. So we also did bingo, and some of the words we did on it were like wise, changing, like a game of telephone, and other words that kind of describe rumors a little bit.
And our second grade book is The Proudest Blue, and this is written by an Olympian, a female Olympian, and she was the first Olympian to compete wearing a hijab in the Olympics.
Okay, so our book was The Proudest Blue. One of the main themes about this book was just like the importance of being happy and proud about your own culture and like religion, and not making fun of other people for that. We read this book because of the second grader that was getting bullied for it, and like just to kind of inform them about that. And then of course we have the cool fact about how the Olympian wrote it, and we played, what did we play for this?
A matching
Yes, a matching game with like pictures and really important vocabulary from the book.
And an important feature of this book is we have one of our students actually created and drew coloring pages that went along with the book, and those were handed out to students in second grade. So these these groups of students have identified things for next year. This is Holbert, if we get to do the program next year. So next year, what they have identified is they would like us to look for books that talk about students with autism and how autism can mean many things and look many different ways. We're also looking for a book about students that have cochlear implants and how those work for the students as well as in school. We've also wanted to find a book that talks about the dichotomy of finances in our schools, as far as students that may have been blessed with many things and maybe students who have struggles at home, but about how when we come to school, we level that playing ground so we're all on the same level and we all can be the best we can be at school. I just want to say I'm super proud of these kids. They've done very well, especially tonight, because I know how nervous you were. But I'd also like to point out that we actually do this program with zero budget. This is a program that I have implemented. I've had some very gracious donors who have donated the books for us this year. I have a couple donors online for next year. But we're also partnering with our librarian, Mary Lou Smith. She is creating a shelf in our library that is going to feature not only the books we use for the program, but as we identify books that may talk about things we see in our school and are age appropriate, she's going to add those to the collection at Johnson Elementary. Thank you for allowing us to be here this evening.
First of all, my first degree is communications. Y'all are excellent speakers. Second of all, how many of you are going to become teachers? Because we need people like you.
But that's okay, because you can do other things in your community. Teaching isn't just in the classroom. Teaching can mean many different things. You're only in 5th grade. You don't have to have all the answers, right? I think they want to take a picture. You guys want to turn it over?
Good job.
It doesn't work for me when I say that. And special thanks to all the parents for transportation and snacks. I think we can go now.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, do you want your books back?
Yes. Because I'm going to need those next year. Thanks for letting us.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Okay, next we have our delegations. We have one delegation this evening.
So I gotta move this down a lot. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Michelle Chasty, and I'm a math teacher at South Harrison High School. I come before you to ask for the reconsideration for our distance learning lab at South Harrison High School, and to ask you to consider the proposal that was sent by Mr. Keener for a virtual lab in that same school, staffed by our paraprofessional, naming it a virtual distance learning lab. While you may have heard many rumors about the purpose of this lab, it is not a dumping ground for special education students, nor is it a way for students to avoid certain teachers in the school. It is also not a replacement for credit recovery, nor is it a way to avoid coming to school or attending school via virtual only. It is simply a way to allow our students to take classes that are not offered at our school. We have several teachers who are shared between the middle and high school: art, baking, Spanish, band, and choir. Because of this, these teachers can only teach up to 2 classes a semester at the high school, sometimes 1. This leaves South Harrison High School with fewer blocks each semester with the option to schedule these classes. Further, with the cut in English, there is no room for several of the electives that our students have once enjoyed. This leaves our students at a disadvantage
when compared to opportunities that they have at some of the other high schools, as well as electives that we don't offer at this time because of our small staff and small student body. These students would work in a supervised area with the paraprofessional monitoring their progress. Using Apple Classroom, students can be locked into their virtual classrooms and the paraprofessional can see what they're doing and submitting. As a teacher for WV Learns, I know that during the first week of class, students must create a pacing guide mapping out each assignment with due dates. A copy of this could be given to the paraprofessional, and once a week, the students can discuss their progress with the paraprofessional, marking off assignments completed to ensure that they finish by the midterm and final deadlines that they have. The paraprofessional would also be able to proctor and monitor the finals for each of these classes. I thank you for your time this evening, and I hope that you consider this option and table the transfer of the paraprofessional at South Harrison High School. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, brings us down to our superintendent's update.
Sure. Speaking of children that were here, I was able to go to the, it was a career day with second graders, and so I was able to visit 8 second grade classrooms, and I had to follow the guy from McDonald's. They didn't really care what I did, I don't believe. Because the guy from McDonald's talked about milkshakes. The kids told me what the guy from McDonald's did. And then I also, right after that, was a secret agent. He was a secret agent from, so then they asked me, explain your job. You know, it's, when you sit and you have to think about your job, it's harder to really think of all the things that you do. So, but it was just a great time to be in with the kids, and you see, I mean, the questions they ask and the things they tell you. So there was one student that asked me why, because we were talking about, one of the teachers brought up that we take care of facilities and buildings and all those things. He asked why the generator at Victory High School was sitting outside. It is we had to close the school there before with no electric, and he said that generator was inside, then that probably wouldn't happen. So I don't know where that, I'm gonna find out where that generator is. I was like, it's a good question. I'll find it out for you. So anyway, that was a lot of fun to be there. And I also, this is one of the favorite things I do really every year. I get invited to attend the Retired Teachers Association. They have their luncheon. I think they meet in different places, but I tend to do the April one, and it's a lot of folks that either I started with or worked with or whatever, so I do know a lot of them there, so I was able to speak. And really the big topic was legislative things, legislative updates, what's going on in Charleston, and they have offered to, in the future, they usually take a group down, so they want our input the next time they go down with things that are on our mind, and I told them we really appreciated that. And they were asking finance questions because they're reading all the articles in the paper and seeing all the personnel questions, so there was a lot of questions about the budget and how the budget works and personnel and salaries and all those things. So I was there for, they did a Q&A after, so it lasted for quite a while. But I appreciate it. There was probably about 45 retired staff members there. So thank you for the invite if you're listening, and I always appreciate that. And this time I think it was Mr. Stromberg, he's the president. Dennis Stromberg is now the president of that organization. Also wanted to let you all know our schools are just now starting, the testing window is open, it's that time of year, so every school has different schedules, so if you're visiting or you're there, then they could be testing, and I think each school has turned in their schedule, so we have an idea of what they're doing, but that's always just, you know, you've been in the building when you're testing, it's stressful for the kids and the staff, and making, well, even our technology folks, making sure all the technology's working, so just wanted to let you know it's just that time of year. Also, on the agenda tonight, of course, I don't believe Ms. Leesburg has any updates. All the transfers are on there for you to see tonight, so to vote on. And then you also have your monthly discipline report. I believe that was sent to you. appreciate Mrs. Knight working, put that together, so we can get you that. Also, you have something else there, and I think it's probably more relevant when you get down to the iReady discussion. And it was just something that was sent to all the superintendents, from Curriculum Associates. We got that today, so I just provided you a copy of that. We can talk about that more down on the agenda. Mr. Cossack is actually turkey hunting, so he's not here. The building projects are all moving along fine. You'll see on the agenda tonight a clerk of the works for the Robert C. Byrd Bridgeport projects. We did do interviews for that, and so that's on the agenda tonight. So if you have questions when you get to that agenda item. We do have a report that Mrs. Kynes would like to talk about the financials and the budget. I noticed we got microphones on the tables, or you can go to the podium. She's got a couple of things to talk about with the budget. I believe you have the financials.
Did you want to hear from the career center?
Oh, well, it could be after this. You want Mr. Hutton to go first?
I'll be quick. I'll be short.
Okay, we'll go to UTC.
Excuse me, I got a little bit hoarse and spit about me. The enrollment dropped by 2 high school students when attending, and he dropped himself out down to Career Center, and another person dropped out to Career Center, not by choice, but by being involved with some illegal drugs, and so he was put out of the Career Center enrollment. Their construction update, they are 99, they're up to 99% complete now, and they seem to think that it'll be finished here. They was waiting on one part, I think, to finish it. And their financial audit was completed, and they came out okay. There was no findings, and they was very appreciative for all the help they got from Whitney in making sure they got everything right. Also, they're having a little bit of problem with their internet speeds and issues. They have been in touch with Todd, and Todd has told them that he would help them out, get it all up to speed. And another thing, a young man that was a student down there, they said he was a really fine young man that got killed here a few weeks ago. When down there to the railroad trestle early in the morning. It's just a tremendous loss for them, and especially a tremendous loss for the parents. And they said he was just an outstanding young man.
It's like a full program completed.
Yeah, he completed everything, and then some. And he is going to be recognized at graduation. And their graduation is going to take place on May the 14th at the Robinson Grand at 6 o'clock. The young man's name was Landon Jackson. And he was 17 years old, and like I said, they had nothing but high praise for Landon and all there. So.
Did you have the number of Skills USA?
Oh, yes,
They
yes,
have
yes,
a
I
lot.
did.
Yeah, that was.
I'm sorry, that was one of the main things. In their state competition, they had 14 gold medal winners.
Wow.
And those are going to attend, 12 of them are going to attend the Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia. And then there was 15 silver and 4 bronze. Only the gold medalists get to go to the Nationals. But I was really proud of one of the silver medalists. My little nephew, this is his first year at the Career Center, and he's done they said a very good job. And Aiden Hogue, he was one of the 15 silver medalists, and very, very good job by all these young men and women. So, I believe that's all that I have for you.
All right, Mrs. Klein.
Thank you. So, where's mine? Good, thank you. So the bank bids went out today, because every 3 years we have to advertise for banking services for a 3-year contract. They went out today, they're due May 11th. It's in the newspaper, and it's also on our website under RFPs. I've handed out your state auditor's report, and I want you to turn inside of it. You have a little sheet of paper, which is a copy of page 20, and I also have it tabbed in your booklet. And I want to spend a little bit of time talking about that page. It was asked the last time, and I just wanted to clarify again. Fund balances, what it means with a fund balance. So the first category there, under the general fund, that's all I'm going to speak about is the general fund, is non-spendable. Non-spendable fund balances are those things that we have in inventory or prepaid deposits, like our workers' comp deposit, for example. The deposit that we have to have on hand at the end of the year for our property and liability insurance. So that does not slip by the wayside. So that's what the non-spendable fund balance is. The majority of that is being inventory. When you look up at the top section and under the balance sheet, you'll see inventory is $978,000. That's transportation, maintenance, and custodial inventories that we had at the end of last year. The next section is the restricted fund balance. The restricted fund balance are those things that we have, that we had to get the CAPS money from Meadowbrook. So that's included in there. And we also go ahead and restrict our Step 7A and our Step 7B money so that we have it specifically for those categories. Step 7B being technology. We're trying to build reserves in the technology so that we can replace the computers when we need to replace them. If you remember right, we replaced all of our laptops and our student access points before the ESSER funds ran out. So we're good shape for about 4 to 5 years for those. So that's what makes up restricted fund balances. Assigned fund balances are those things that we've already earmarked. Think about open purchase orders at the end of the year for construction projects that we're paying with the general fund, or buying buses. It seems like we order buses and spend about $1 million, but then they don't actually get here until after year end. They get them out July or August. So that's what's in those assigned numbers. We've already earmarked and set it aside. So then we get to our unassigned fund balance. This is our unrestricted fund balance. That is the portion that the Department of Ed and everybody looks at. Those are the things that we have available for future costs that we can use. Basically, it's the only thing we can use. So in 2025, we had $18.1 million in the unrestricted unassigned fund balance. Now, we are at the recommended, we exceed the 3 to 5% of revenues, and we're at the recommended 2 months of operating costs at the end of 25. Now, let's move to 26. So in 26, you have your March financial statement. I'll put it on the board agenda items for the public to look at, but I didn't want to put it out there before we had the conversation. So when you go to that first page, and I numbered the pages for you, the general fund is the second line item there on that first page. And the revenues are down $5.4 million. We're looking at this one.
Cash balances.
Yep, the monthly financial report as of March. So the general fund revenue is down $5.4 million. That is a combination of state aid and property taxes. The line item above that is the excess levy money is down $5.1 million. If you flip through the next pages, those are the details of revenues and expenses for the excess levy until you get to page 5. So page 5 is your general fund revenues. And this is the detail of that drop. You will see that the property taxes are down by $5.5 million. And the state aid is about the same. So the $5.4 million we're down in general fund revenues. From this same time last year, $5.5 million is related to property taxes. That has to do with what we talked about last budget season during oil and gas assessed valuations. The next page we want to talk about is page 7. Page 7 is the detail of the expenses. If you remember right, during our conversations during last budget season, we talked about how we were having an overage of personnel, right? Well, we have to pay for those personnel overages. When you look at this in the top portion there, you will see that through March 31st, we are over on professional personnel at the same time last year by $3.4 million. Service personnel by $2 million. Now, overall, the net is not a big drastic change, but it concerns me that we are spending that much more in personnel. So, what's that all mean? That all means that right now, because there's a lot, finances change every day. We got on the next board meeting, you will see a reduction of state aid for PEIA. So we thought we were doing well, but we've got a reduction of $442,000 coming. They've reduced our PEIA, which is it's a shore up they do every year, and it actually determines, wow, whenever they do the allocation in the spring for PEIA, it's based on what we currently had in that spring, but then we have open enrollment during the same time as the budget season, right? People change what they're going to have for insurance for the next year. In the spring, March and April, we get the PEI reallocation because it shores it all up. So we are losing $442,000 in our state aid. So my closest projection right now, my closest,
It was 143?
442.
442.
Yeah. So our state aid numbers on the revenue side are gonna drop more.
But do we have to make that up, or is that because people aren't using PEIA, they have something else?
They've changed their plans, and then we also, we only get PEIA allocations for those that are state aid funded.
Okay.
So all the positions that are not state aid funded, we have to cover those. And they look at an average, they don't look at the total cost. My guess is it's probably where some people had dropped from family to employee and children, and I expect to see that again because of the spousal surcharge, to be honest with you, if they can get coverage for their spouse somewhere else. So with that said, it looks like right now, of course, it can change tomorrow if I get a big revenue in, or we are hit with a disaster or whatever, we have to pay for something. Right now, it looks like we're gonna finish the year in a deficit of $5.5 million. Now, $5.5 million, if we subtract that off from the 18.1 that we had in unreserved, that brings us for an unreserved, unassigned, unrestricted fund balance at the end of this fiscal year of $12.6 million. FY27, in your budget books, you will see that the projection is between $9 and $10 million. So let's go on the conservative side of a deficit of $9 million in FY27. That will leave us at the end of 27 with a $3.6 million carryover. We'll meet the 3%, which is the absolute minimum. But that is barring no catastrophes, no major changes. Now, one of the questions that Mr. Devana had asked is the cost of the transfers, abolishments, and realignments. He actually asked what the savings. We don't want to talk about savings because the savings to me is we put it in the bank and we got it. So it's cost avoidance. I ran those numbers today and it's $3.2 million. So if we do not do all those transfers and abolishments that has been recommended by the superintendent that Mrs. Leesburg has on the agenda, that number that I talked about of having a carryover at the end of 27 of being 3.6, guess where we are? 3.6 minus 3.2. So tonight, you're actually only voting on the RIFs, transfers, and abolishments. May 5th is the budget hearing. That's where people come and can speak on the budget. You can have additional comments and stuff on the budget. If you guys direct me then, after that, then we will take, I'll make the changes to the budget, make directions at that night. And then the actual adoption would be on May 19th. Now, Miss Mariah just handed out a packet of information. We need you to put this in the back of your personnel tab. These are the questions that were asked by Mrs. Smith. So, about the medical allotment specifically. So a salary supplement, for West Virginia Code 2153, the Department of Ed, I'm just going to fix the payment of wages in the state of West Virginia and how disbursement should occur. West Virginia Department of Ed has been advised by legal counsel that only those one-time disbursements expressly set forth in West Virginia College Code shall be dispersed outside of the twice-monthly equal installment approach. Consequently, further compensation expressly for in West Virginia Code allowed to be paid to employees. Compensation must be set in salary tables and approved by county board members. Now, when you go to the West Virginia Code, I went ahead and pulled that for you. It talks in Section A, it talks about that employees have to be paid at least twice every month. That second line of the code. No more than 19 days between settlements, and pay them the wages due within that amount of time. So, if the medical allotment is a supplemental salary, then it should be paid as a supplemental salary when due, which would be as they earn it. Right now, we've got it set up as a medical allotment and it's being paid once a year. We're only paying them actually in advance of earnings because you have to work 200 days to get the whole thing. So basically, it's $10 a day. Now, a 250-day employee doesn't get more than the $2,000. They get $2,000. And then at the end of the year, if you did not work your full time, we take back for $10 a day down to where you got. So if you only worked 180 days, we're going to take off 20 days or $200 off of your final check. So that's a supplemental salary, should be paid over twice monthly.
Does that count if you took a sick day?
Sick days, as long as you have the sick days banked, are days worked.
Okay.
As long as you've earned those, yes. If you take a sick day and you don't have the sick days available, then they're not
Days
good.
out paid.
Yeah. Those are the only ones that don't count. The next piece in that packet.
Real quick, I know you're probably,
Oh, you're fine.
where is the semantics of supplemental salary versus medical allotment live on a legal scale?
Well, the medical allotment, for everything I saw, was basically referred to, it's a supplemental salary payment, supplemental payment.
Who's, the Department of Education is determining that?
That was, anything that I read, this medical allotment was a supplemental payment. And it's based on 200 days of working. So let's go to the other piece that you have in there. The other piece you have is a bonus. Now, we want to call the medical allotment a bonus. Bonuses can be paid out at one time. However, West Virginia state law, state code, only allows bonuses for early retirement and attendance incentive. Those are the things that can be paid out as one lump sum. And the codes are all there for those as well. We do have two policies. We have our professional and our service. Professional is 3420 and service is 4420 that actually expressly allow our attendance incentives and our early retirement incentives that are paid out. The state actually provides early retirement for teachers. They don't do anything for service and they don't do anything for non-teachers. Our policies take it further. And then the last thing was just about the SLPs. So no one really asked about that much, but about how that grievance made them a classroom teacher. And all classroom teachers in the same categories are to be treated the same.
So the other question I have is levy funds versus state reimbursed funds.
Levy funds are, it's all public, quasi-public money. All levy funds, we have to spend it within the category such as instructional materials, salary supplements, which includes additional personnel and all supplements and things that it can afford. We already have $4,650 coming out for every professional in the salary table for a 200-day, and $3,350 for a service person in the salary tables. So, but it don't, nowhere in the levy call does it ever talk about a medical allotment.
What is it?
But you can't, huh?
What does it define it as?
It doesn't, it just said supplements to the budget. But we're not allowed, our levy call cannot create additional classification, and this was the argument that Hancock had as well, that additional classification is additional bonus, when bonuses are not permitted by state law, other than retirement and the attendance incentive.
That's where that's where I'm
So-
thinking the legal part is.
Right.
Somebody's gonna have to decide that.
The, in the thing, the plan I've got is that, because I wanted to make sure that no one got more than $2,000. If I put it in the regular salary tables, then people who extended contracts like myself, if I put it in the salary table at the base 200, then myself and the other people at 250 would get more than $2,000. So the only way to make sure that only those people are getting the same exact amount as what the medical allotment was intended, was everybody got $2,000, is that we put it on a ZMED, I call it the ZMED, it's an addenda, but it is paid out over whether they've asked for 20 pays or 24 pays.
So what does a person, a 200-day employee get per day as,
It's-
known as the medical allotment?
It's $10 a day, everybody, yeah, $10 a day,
$10 a day.
yeah, up to 2,000.
So basically what you're saying in the future is they need to, every time they get paid, they gotta figure out how many days that they was in that pay and just take that out and put it in an envelope.
It'll actually be separate on their pay stub, it'll have medical allotment.
Okay, and they know how much to
Mhm.
take out of that.
Yeah.
As I said, I would say put in an envelope and put it away for their Christmas.
Or open a bank account and get a few cents.
If you put it in the Christmas club, have a direct deposit into a Christmas club or anything like that, but yes,
So, okay. So they're still going to get it
they're still gonna get it, it's just gonna get it every time. Mhm.
for every 2 weeks,
Well, 15th and 13th, yes.
every pay period. Okay.
It's just amazing to me that we've been doing it for 28 years and nobody said anything. And we can't be the only county.
Well, just because everybody does it,
Doesn't make it right.
doesn't make it right.
Maybe we have.
And if you read the actual, I know it was
State
small, but
ordinance
in the,
going up with it.
yeah, there's,
And how, well, Frank was trying to explain it to me, but we've been audited. How did they not see it 28 years ago?
And we were just audited by the state.
Yeah.
they don't look at, there's no way to look at absolutely every single thing. An audit, they come in and test things. Now, the state auditor, I think we pulled about 400 invoices and stuff for them to look at. And they came in and when the personnel testing, they went to the actual regular contracts. They did not do anything on extracurriculars. My guess is after this Hancock issue has come to light, my guess is the audit testing work on salaries and extra pays is going to increase. And they're gonna start looking at all the salary supplements. So right now, they look at basically just the salary scale, like teacher, make sure that they're getting paid for based upon their years of service and their, yes.
We need a new law.
Well, if we could change it by policy, I would love to, but I don't think that's going to be.
Yeah, no, I don't think our attorney would advise us to change, to go against state law.
Representatives.
Well, that was my thing, right? The levy funds, the local levy funds versus the state reimbursed funds, how much control.
All
we have.
all of it is quasi-public. We all have to follow all the federal and state laws, yes. Some are good, some are bad.
Still disappointing.
So if you have, I gave you all your books with all your information in there. I'll be putting in the publication We'll be sending the publication for the budget hearing, which is in your tab. It is section, it's the budget summaries, the first page in the budget summaries. It talks about the budget hearing is May 5th, I believe it's at 5:30. That document will be sent to the newspaper for publication, and so that we're open and transparent.
We're voting on the 12th,
No, the 19th.
19th.
The budget hearing is the 5th, and the 19th at our regular meeting is the adoption. And then we can make changes to that if you want me to make changes. And if somebody comes along and says, hey, here's $4 million that we're gonna donate to Harrison County operations, that'd be absolutely fabulous. Anything else?
Thank you.
Did I clarify anything for you? Okay, good. That's what I want to.
Thank you.
Superintendent's already had anything further for the superintendent's update?
That's all I have for superintendent's update. Thank you.
All right, brings us down to consent items. Is there a motion to approve consent items as presented?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, out-of-state travel study requests. In front of you, you have the out-of-state travel study requests. Is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on out-of-state travel study? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the recommendation of the issuance of a purchase order to Steptoe and Johnson for the fiscal year of 2026. Is there a motion to approve?
I so move. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Can someone, at my poor docs is freezing up, can someone read the amount, please? of the purchase order?
I don't have anything.
Doesn't say purchase order, it just says how much is remaining.
It's in there, but it isn't coming up right now for some reason.
I can't see it either.
I can't, I'm
We
frozen.
talked about.
And I'm logged
what's the
in.
amount that we did the purchase order for, it's not showing up.
It was there.
It says not to exceed 200,000.
That's-
For the year,
Okay,
That's
okay.
not,
That's it.
All right, not to exceed 200,000. All right, great, thank you.
Mine doesn't say anything.
All right, any further discussion?
And I'm logged in.
No further discussion. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Brings us down to recommendation for the issuance of purchase orders to R.D. Wilson and Sons and Company for fiscal year 2026. And again, I can't see
I can't do that.
the amount, 240, not to exceed the amount, $245,000. Is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
Is there a second? Any discussion?
Mine went.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Simpson and Nutter Fork Elementary Renovation Project Change Order Number 2. In front of you, you have a motion to approve Lombardi Construction LLC Change Order Number 2 in the amount of, it just went away.
Yeah, mine did.
It's coming, hold on.
It was $30,608. I'm going to have to go back to paper like Doug. $30,608.42 for contingency and topsoil.
So this is for two schools, not just one?
Simpson and Nutter Fork Elementary. The reduction has been approved by the SBA. Total project cost after the change order, $5,286,110.30.
These are good change orders.
Well, they didn't get something, you gotta remember, when you get 30,000 back, and because you did, there's something right there, which is topsoil and something else, didn't get sprayed.
Is there a motion to approve?
I so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next we have the Clerk of the Works for Mountaineer Renovations. Recommend purchase, recommend purchase order for Saga Construction, Ralph Peterson for Clerk of the Works on Mountaineer Renovations not to exceed $35,000.
Oh, that's
Clerk
wrong.
of the Works for Mountaineer.
That's not the person.
Yeah.
What in the world is
Here, it should be
Yeah.
this person right here.
board docs is malfunctioning?
Yes.
No, it's right there, that's what it says.
That's what it says, Ralph Peterson, Clerk of the Works, Mountaineer Renovations, not to exceed $35,000.
Not Mountaineer.
But that's not,
And we have to change that. so
Yeah,
we can
that
vote on
is
it
not
correctly.
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. It says Jane McCoy, but it also has Ralph Peterson for Clerk of the Works.
Yeah.
It says Mountaineer.
No. Let's,
I don't know what happened with that.
how quick does this one need to be done? Tonight? Have to be done tonight? We need a motion written to determine what exactly the recommendation is. We need a
Because the
recommendation.
jewel,
Because this is, yeah.
yeah, the job is already, I mean, they've started, so we need to get the Clerk of the Works.
So if the recommendation, we have to change the recommendation then, so the recommendation needs updated. At least from what I see on my board docs and from what Jenny sees on hers.
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, that, the name in the middle was correct.
Yes, that's all correct, but
Well,
the
Jane McCoy or
recommendation,
Ralph Peterson?
No, Jane McCoy.
Jane McCoy is
Well,
the
The recommendation is for Ralph Peterson.
that's not what mine is
I-
showing.
That's what mine's
That's
showing.
what mine is showing. Is yours showing that on
It
the
does,
top?
no, mine does not have, it just has Jane McCoy.
No, see right here,
What's yours?
recommended action.
Okay,
Recommended
I move that we change the to
Well,
correct the,
Let me wait on that. They need to give us a recommendation first before we can move to vote on it. So we need a correct recommendation.
Yeah, that's not
Look
even
at
the
the score
right
sheets,
company.
yeah, the score sheets.
Yeah.
It's clear, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, but the
So it's
recommendation,
on Mountaineer, it's.
it's Bird, Bridgeport.
yes, you're right.
So how do you fix it?
Well, do you have a recommendation?
The recommendation is to hire Jane McCoy for the Clerk of the Works for Robert C. Byrd and Bridgeport High School projects.
Okay, the recommendation is to hire Jane McCoy for the Clerk of the Works for Robert C. Byrd and for Bridgeport.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Now we go to iReady. I don't know what happened there.
It's good.
So right now, there's nothing going on about here.
No.
No, they're finished.
But the Clerk of the Works is going to be on both of those projects, correct? Is that the same clerk that's going to be on both of those projects?
Well, they, after the discussion of when she interviewed, or when they both interviewed, it couldn't have been for both projects. I believe they're wanting to hire just for Robert C. Byrd right now.
All right, then let's rescind that motion.
Even though she will be available or could do the Bridgeport project.
But we voted on the Bridgeport project as well.
Yeah, we did.
So let's rescind
Yes,
that
is-
motion. Is there a motion to rescind the previous vote?
So moved.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And
Okay.
and this is only for,
Now, the recommendation is for Jane McCoy to be the Clerk of the Works for RCB, correct?
On their interview sheets, it has both schools.
But
It
on
says
the
RCB
bid score
and
sheet
the-
matrix, it just has,
On the notes, though, it is for both projects.
When it was bid, it was for both projects.
but we don't have a recommendation for a Clerk of the Works yet for for Bridgeport. We just have a recommendation for a clerk of the works for RCB.
Is it still
But
30?
that's
think
not
it's-
what it
Is it still
says.
35,000?
It says
for one,
RCB and
or
VHS.
35,000 for two?
It's just. would be
They were
for one
interviewed for
project.
both though.
It was put out to bid for one, or for both of those. She bid, because the Bridgeport project was going to be, it's going to take a lot of planning and time.
pieces,
We
yeah.
felt we didn't need to hire her yet for that. But it was bid for both projects. And I was in interview with Mr. Moss.
I think we're okay with our last motion that's on the bid sheet.
Yes.
That's the way it's going to be.
I mean, that's the way she was interviewed, and then I think if we do something differently,
We have to hire her for RCB.
Yeah, we need her.
35?
We need her for RCB right now.
For 35?
For 35,000, not to exceed. Renovations not to exceed 35,000.
Is
I don't think.
Is that correct?
No, that's not the right amount.
And what is, all right, so you know what, motion to table
Yeah,
this,
table it.
motion to table this
Yes.
until it is worked out.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
We'll bring it.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It is tabled.
If the bid sheet is different.
Yeah, everything's
For those
everything's
four.
different here.
Yeah.
All right, now this brings us to iReady, and we have a handout for iReady.
Did you email how much it cost? I'm trying to remember where
We got it last time.
Yeah.
Oh, last time.
Paper the last time, we had all the costs.
you're.
Let's see if I have a copy.
I'll share mine with Tom.
You need to just get started. Oh,
So this was asked to be put on the agenda. Was it asked to be put on the agenda because of the lawsuit, or was it asked to be put on the agenda for, what was the reason we wanted to discuss it?
I requested it because of the money we're spending, and I only worked with it as a substitute teacher for 3 years and was not overly impressed. However, you really need to talk, I think we need to do some investigation with the middle school teachers. Can we show that it's been effective? Is it worth all the money we're spending to do that? Because I've just found that one-on-one tutoring or small group tutoring is more effective, and the kids don't need to be in front of a screen. The kids hate it. And some of the kids, and you know, they'll just blow off the original one, and it puts them clear down at the bottom, and they have to work their way up, so it's a waste of time because they're doing things they really don't need to be doing. I'm just not overly impressed with the program, but we need to check with the actual teachers in the trenches.
Well, then I want to know what we're required of from the State Department in regards to iReady.
We have to have a benchmark. So we have to have one of these companies, we have to have a benchmark from K to 8. So this is our benchmark. Elementary, we don't put kids on it unless it is a teacher's working with a small group and they are on a station. Instead of a game, they do that. But it is not, you don't have to have so many minutes a week. You don't have to use it for benchmark, beginning, middle, and end.
And that's all we use it for? And this is what it costs to do that?
It does. We use it for that. And it does do, if you would like a specific lesson for a child, they don't know silent E, you can make things for them to do that with. Extra practice, home, small group at work, at school, or whatever you want to do. But our requirement is a benchmark, beginning, middle, and end. This just has other things with it.
So we could just pay for the 3 benchmarks and skip the lessons that the kids do during homeroom.
I don't believe with iReady you can just get a piece like that.
I think we asked that
Clear back when?
3 years ago. We've had it for 3
It's
years.
just a lot of.
We were using it, so we didn't change. We already had a benchmark. And it did have our dyslexia screener in it, where lots of them do not.
If this is something that we want to study and look at, it's gonna take a little bit longer than.
Right,
yeah,
right.
We have to figure out over the next year, right? But my feeling is that when you apply the dyslexia screening to it, and you enact it with the Third Grade Success Act, and the bill that they have in regards to identifying all of the students, so that you can address those issues, I think it's an invaluable tool. I didn't like it at first either, but from that standpoint, it identifies and it helps identify reading problems and students with those reading problems. And that can give us some kind of idea as to where we can address those needs with students.
Can that be identified in the beginning, middle, and end? Or does it have to, or do you have to be on it a while, or?
They're gonna make you pay for all the lessons in between. They're not.
What she's saying is they won't let you just do the benchmark.
Your beginning, middle, and end is a diagnostic. What you should know when you start third grade, what you should know in the middle of
Right.
third grade, and what you should know in the end.
Right, yes.
And it will tell you if you don't make a cut score. So if you don't make the cut score, it tells you that, and you can make lessons. But our large part of the Third Grade Success Act is we take that cut score and let parents know. They didn't make the cut score. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's some stuff you can do at home to try to, so we can get past that cut score at the next time, which means they are bridging that gap.
So I guess my question is, are we getting our bang for our buck, or what? Do we even know that yet, or should we investigate or look at that and research it? I don't know.
We should look at the data.
Especially, I'm more concerned about the middle school than what you said about elementary makes sense. I'm more concerned about the middle school.
I think the concern, that was brought up at the middle school level before, that they wanted a benchmark that was across the board, so the data that's coming from 5th grade to 6th grade, it's all this, it's data that's consistent. And we looked at a benchmark that we had been using because we didn't want to roll out new things because that's never a good thing. So that was the discussion 3 years ago, is why, because we already had iReady here and not across the board, but places were using iReady. Plus it was one of the few on the list available at the time that met all the criteria. They've come out with more since then, but it's the idea, do you want to change and go to something new? That's what we hear a lot of complaints about, when we keep rolling out new things and we don't stick with what we have. And every product is going to be very similar. I mean,
They know they have us, so I figure everybody is charging a lot now.
Yes.
But I wouldn't want to change anything without thorough investigation first.
From the teachers, from the teachers.
And I would want 100% to have certain criteria in those new programs.
So, already is in what schools? All
We use it
elementary,
across
all
elementary.
Except the high
all
school.
middle school. So that means, to me, that sounds like one of those things where the principals were given a lot of input. They gave their input into the programs to see if it was ready, because, to see if this is what was going to work. They weren't?
According to Julie.
No, not at the end. We had to pick a benchmark, and we already had that going. Some schools were using it, some weren't. I'd say at least half were,
And now they're all using
because they have to have a benchmark. That is the
Actually,
state.
better have them
Because I know-
within 3 years.
it. One
Yes.
principal
You know.
said it got into the program,
Then
really raved on iReady.
the Third Grade Success Act made it us have to have a benchmark everywhere. We have to have it for different
And
things.
since
Title
iReady
I,
has really
strategic
went
planning,
out and
that's really the
becomes
push.
it's a large company. I think other companies have followed suit and come back and, there's other products, but they're all very similar.
I wonder how many states use iReady.
It's pretty popular. I mean,
I don't, we were talking about how many counties it was in West Virginia. I couldn't really find that right at our fingertips. I know it's 29 or 33, it's somewhere around there, counties.
30 states and Washington DC.
Yeah, it's a large,
I don't know, I'm just not sold on it
But if it has all those other benefits, maybe you just have to take the bad with the good.
I think it maybe sit down and have a discussion on how can we use it more effectively. We have to do the benchmarks. What
Yeah.
pieces of it can we use? What's working in the middle schools? Because it would be different in a middle school, I'm sure, than at the elementary level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I
that
think
might be what
I
it would be.
I talked to you once that middle school math teachers would love to have iExcel instead of,
Well, that was
iReady.
something high schools didn't have any kind of, so
They
that's where
used
IXL
to-
came
They used to have
from.
iReady years ago, when my son was in school, he hated it. It's hard.
So we have IXL in
Yeah.
high schools. But,
There's also a math program called Math. It's
It
called
must be
Matthew.
pretty good, your
Matthew C.
success.
Matthew C.
Oh, no, he hated it, that's why he was an honor roll
To
student,
a,
because he didn't need it.
what's the name of
They
it?
forced him to do it, and they should have been pushing him.
For the-
Dyslexia students, but for the dyscalculia students as well. So that type of program could potentially be good on,
Yeah.
on the
On the
math
math
side.
side.
So that's gonna take a lot of discussion and a lot of investigation to determine. I like the idea of starting with what does iReady offer us, and how can we tailor iReady to meet the needs of the middle schools. That would be my thought from the first
Yes.
And
step.
maybe they only need to use the potential.
Maybe they do, and if
Right.
Yep.
We did take the requirements of the daily minutes, I mean, we're not requiring that from our level, that they be on there so many minutes every day. That was something we addressed years ago, because there was concern.
Why don't we invite the middle school principals in to give us their perspective on iReady at their schools?
How about the teachers?
I talked to the teachers, they deal with it every day, the teachers.
Well, we get a representative from iReady as well,
Yeah.
to see if they can talk to us about.
Then
They'll usually
then
send
bring one teacher with them, then it's.
We did that when we chose the curriculum that we were going to do for our, phonemic awareness and all that. We tried to look at something we already had, and we brought in a group of teachers, and that's what we're using. We're seeing success with that. So, and there was a whole iReady curriculum that could have been purchased, like they had text and all of that, and we did not go there. Some counties did. They purchased the whole gamut.
Well, there's no point in purchasing something and putting it on a shelf either.
Yeah,
No, and I trust our teachers.
yeah.
All right. Are there any further discussions about iReady? No. Old business, we'll move on, laying of the levy rates. We have that in front of you, reconvening the March 17th, 2026 board meeting to approve the laying of the levy pursuant to West Virginia Code 11-8-9 and 12. The board on March 17th, 2026 ascertained the fiscal affairs of the district and ordered the levy rates to be proposed for the year ending June 30th, 2027. Said rates have been duly published by the secretary and the board and approved in writing by the state auditor, and such statement herewith duly entered by reference in the record of the proceedings together with the written approval shall be laid. So at that point, is there a motion to accept the levy rates as presented?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded.
second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, brings us down to personnel matters.
I move pursuant to 69A42 of West Virginia Code that the board go into executive session to discuss personnel matters which, if discussed in public, might affect adversely the reputation of any person.
Personnel motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are in executive session. in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are back in executive session. Brings us down to personnel matters.
Okay, I move that under service personnel, we remove the distance learning position for the paraprofessional for South Harrison High School.
A motion has been made to remove the paraprofessional distance learning position from the agenda and vote on it separately. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? It's been removed from the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Well, no, this is just to remove it from the agenda.
Oh.
Just to remove it from the
No,
agenda.
okay. I'm so opposed. I don't want to remove it.
Okay. Next item will be voting on the approval of that position for the recommendation by the superintendent. Is there a motion to approve that position?
You mean to keep the position?
Yes, to keep the position, excuse me, to go along with your motion, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries 3-2. Brings us down to the regular agenda. Mr. Hoag has 2 recusals that he must note in his agenda.
Yes.
You don't have to say the names, you can just say the positions.
Okay. Teacher at Robert C. Byrd and one at Liberty Middle.
Right. There are 2 positions that Mr. Hoag has identified, and he needs to recuse himself from those votes. Is there a motion noting Mr. Hoag's recusal to approve the personnel agenda?
You mean the whole?
To remove the personnel agenda, the whole personnel agenda.
Aye.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Okay, so we have the rest of the personnel agenda that has to be approved.
Okay.
Yes.
For the whole rest of
This
it.
is for the rest of the
Minus
personnel.
his recusal.
The only, yes, minus his recusal. The only vote we've taken is on
Right.
whether or not.
Are we accepting we're supposed to be accepting his recusal?
He's noting his recusal.
Oh, okay, I'm
Vote.
sorry, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
No, We're voting,
I did not understand.
noting Mr. Hoag's recusals, we are voting on the personnel agenda.
Okay.
Is there a motion to accept the personnel agenda as presented by the superintendent, noting Mr. Hoag's recusals?
Aye.
All right, the motion has been made. Is there a second? I'll second the motion so the personnel agenda can be put on the floor. Is there any discussion on the personnel agenda? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll make a roll call. Mr. Tucker?
Can you just give us an understanding of what we're voting right now?
We are voting on the personnel agenda minus the position that was pulled off. It was voted to keep the virtual distance learning position. The rest of the personnel agenda, we still have to vote on. The remainder of the personnel agenda, with everything else on it,
With the transfers.
with everything else on it. I'll have to take a roll call. There's only been 2 votes cast. Mr. Tucker?
I'm saying aye for the,
Yes, aye to approve the personnel agenda, nay to, no to not approve the
I'm saying
personnel agenda. Okay, all right. Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Santilli? Dr. Santilli?
Okay. Aye.
Okay, personnel agenda passes 5-0. All right, that brings us down to board member comments. Is there anything you'd like to say, Mr. Tucker?
well, other than what I normally say is, wish everybody was here. Hopefully, folks got a chance to watch it. If not, it will be on YouTube. It is on YouTube. You just may not have got a chance to watch it live.
Mr. Oak?
In the one program we talked about, iReady to go home.
Dr. Santilli?
Yeah, we know it's gonna be really, really tough moving forward, and I just want the public to understand that we're doing the very best we can, but the school board has absolutely no control over money coming in. So if these decisions are painful and you don't like them, look at who is sending us the money and forcing us to make these decisions.
Ms. Smith?
I don't have anything to say.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing to say as well. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?